Welcome to Elevated Women, the podcast where energetics meets strategy and wealth becomes who you are. I'm your host, Myra Swan Kotze, subconscious reprogramming master, energetics mentor, multi-seven-figure coach, and Brain's 500 global honoree for my work in conscious business leadership. This space is your portal, a frequency upgrade for the woman who's done shrinking and ready to claim everything she came for. Let's melt the old patterns, rewire your money story, and build a wildly aligned business from your highest self. This is your next evolution. Let's begin. Welcome back to Elevated Woman, Queen. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful conversations we can have in business: sales. Yes, I know, sales is not your fav topic. And if you're very honest with yourself, I'd go as far as to say you hate sales. That's why your business isn't making money at all. Or it's not making the money you know it can. Stay till the end of this episode. It's going to change how you think and feel about sales in your body forever. We're not talking about the sales the way you've been taught. Not scripts, not formulas, not the pressure-filled masculine way that makes so many women feel icky and out of alignment. Today, we're talking about sales as a divine invitation. Sales is a sacred act where you get to hold space for someone's expansion, invite them into your world, and watch their life transform through your work. When you sell this way, sales becomes beautiful. It becomes authentic. It becomes an energetic experience for you and your client. I bet you're starting to feel different about sales in your body already. This episode is going to show you what's possible when you sell unapologetically from your energy with audacity and conviction. Here's the truth. Most women feel resistance to selling, not because they don't believe in their work, but because the way they've been taught to sell doesn't feel aligned. And yes, there are those things that you need to overcome about sales that you've been taught, but that is for a different conversation. Think about it. Scripts tell you exactly what to say, when to say it, how to handle every objection. It's packaged like a formula. In some cases, they work really well. My husband has a sales program. No manipulation, just service and alignment. He gives his clients a script, but they only work if you really know your script and practice it till you know it so well that if I wake you up at 3 a.m., you can start anywhere in that script and continue and still make the sale. They only work if you manage to really make them a part of who you are. And let's face it, not all scripts are created equally. I want to talk to you about my daughter, Simi. She never believed she could sell. And so she decided to join her dad's program, and she learned everything that he taught. But she thought she can wing the sales script. And she made appointments, and she got really many appointments because she's really good at that. She got lots of appointments, but she was wasting her time and the client's time, or the prospect's time. She was really just blabbering along, and she wasn't making any sales. And we had a little bit of a conversation about that. And I said to her, you need to embody that script. You really need to practice the script, because here is the thing. If you don't, you are never going to be 100% present. And you are not going to know what to say when. and you're not going to be able to make the sale. So you've been wasting your time. So she took the script and she really practiced it with a friend. For about 7 days, it was all that she did. Over and over and over, she practiced that script. And then she started making appointments again. And within a very short period of time, she made 100K in sales. Now, it doesn't work for everyone. Simi needs that structure. She needs that safety to know that I know what I need to do on my call. And it worked miracles for her in her business. But it doesn't work for everyone because, let's face it, not every script is created equally. And at first, they can feel safe, like you've got a roadmap to follow. But then something happens. You're in a real conversation and you do like Sumi. You don't have your script completely embodied. Your script might not feel aligned because it wasn't created for you or in alignment with you, or you have not practiced it enough times. And instead of being present, you're thinking, what's the next line again? How do I transition? What if she says this and I don't have the right comeback? This pulls you out of presence. And when you're not present, you're not connected. You're not listening deeply. You're not in the energetic dance that actually makes sales work. That's why it feels icky. It feels like a performance, like you're trying to wear someone else's clothes. And the woman on the other side feels it too. She can sense the disconnect. Here's the shift. When you release scripts and come back to your own energy, your own truth, your own way of connecting, selling stops feeling like a performance. It starts feeling like a conversation, like an opening, like a moment of possibility. I want to tell you a little bit of a different story. If you've listened to some of my podcasts, you know that I like stories. And sometimes I weave in more than one, and sometimes I don't even weave in any. But in any way, I want to tell you a story of us women who holds back, who makes us ourselves small, and who doesn't stand in our power. Those of us that sell apologetically. And most of us do. We sell with apology. We don't sell with conviction. We don't sell in a way that makes the person on the other side feel good. And this story goes like this. Men sell and they say, here is a pen. Do you want it or don't you? The other person says, yes, I want it. They say, okay, good. It's $10. They take the money and give the pen. That's how men sell. Straightforward, to the point. And later years, they added all the other manipulative things to it. But that's how men sell. Straight to the point. Unapologetically. Women will say, here's a lipstick. I want to sell it to you, but maybe I should rather give it to you for free, so that you can go test it first. Or maybe you won't like the color. Let me see which colors will work for you. I really want to sell it to you, but I'm not sure if it will work for you. We are not selling unapologetically. And when we sell with this apologetic way about us, or we feel apologetic when we need to sell, we are never really going to make the sales that we need to make. Unapologetic sales are not beautiful, ladies. Unapologetic sales is beautiful, but apologetic sales is even more icky than the straightforward way that men sell, or that real second-hand car salesman trick. It's even more icky than that. So that's why you're not making sales, is you are unapologetic. You don't believe in your product. You'll come up with 100 excuses of why you shouldn't be selling that product or that lipstick to your client, in place of being unapologetic and telling her, this lipstick is not going to dry out your lips. It is beautiful and soft on your skin, and it will make you look absolutely gorgeous. Which color would you like? Which color do you think will make you feel more beautiful? Which color do you think will make your outfits pop and your skin tone pop and make you feel like the queen you are? Unapologetic, and this is just something that I'm pulling out of my head right now, but it's unapologetic and it's focused on her. So that is the story that I want to tell you. Women need to sell differently than men. And you need to be unapologetic and focus on your client. Now let's flip the lens on this completely. Instead of thinking about sales as a transaction, I want you to start seeing it as a divine invitation. When a woman comes into your world, she's not just buying coaching, mentorship, or a program. She's stepping into a new identity. She's saying yes to her next level of expansion. That's why I always say sales is holy work. You are literally inviting her into transformation. Think about it this way. When you invite someone to dinner at your home, you're not pushing, pressuring, or convincing. You're simply opening your door saying, I'd love for you to come in. I'd love to share this with you. That's how sales can feel. An opening, a doorway, a sacred space. And when you see it this way, you don't feel like you're taking something from her. You realize you're giving her an opportunity to say yes to herself. This is what makes selling feel beautiful for both you and your client. It becomes a soul-to-soul moment instead of a strategy-to-strategy performance. Here's what I believe with every cell in my body. Women can and should sell differently than men. The sales industry was built around masculine modules: chase, pressure, close. And many of us, especially women, try to fit into those models because we thought or were taught that that was the only way. But the truth is, our way is different, beautifully different. The feminine way is magnetic, not manipulative. It's about resonance, not resistance. When you sell from your feminine frequency, you don't chase, you don't apologize, you don't shrink. You lead with energy, you lead with presence, and you lead with conviction. And here's where the audacity comes in. The feminine way is not passive, it's powerful. It's unapologetic. It says, I know what I carry changes lives, and I'm not afraid to invite you in. This is why I use the word audacity, because to sell this way requires courage. It requires you to break away from what you've been taught, to stand in your own truth, and to lead in a way that feels aligned to your soul. And when you do, selling becomes natural. Women are drawn to you because you embody the very transformation you're inviting them into. So let's imagine you're in a sales conversation, but instead of following a script, you're in full presence. What happens? You're not worried about what to say next. You're not trying to handle objections. You're simply listening, really listening. And that's rare. Most people don't feel truly heard. When you give someone that space, it's magnetic. She feels safe, she feels seen, she feels honored. From there, you naturally share your work, not like it's a list of features, but as a story, as embodiment, as a transmission. You're not saying here are 6 modules and 3 bonuses. You are saying this is a space I've created for women who want to step into wealth, power, and alignment, whatever it is that you sell. Here's what happens inside. Here's what's possible for you. It's less about information, more about energy, less about selling the thing, more about transmitting the frequency of transformation. It's less about you and your program and all about them and their transformation. And when you extend the invitation from that place, it feels clean, it feels beautiful, it feels like a yes to her own future. The sale is no longer a close, it's an opening, a sacred beginning. Now, if you don't use sales conversations in your business and you sell in the DMs or with funnels and content, this still applies. Everything starts right here with this belief that sales is a divine invitation. So if you believe this and you embrace and embody what I shared with you, I promise you, it doesn't matter how you sell, your bank account will reflect it. That is how I have managed to make 52.6 million and counting in personal sales. Once you embody this belief, everything changes for you and your clients. Here are some reflections that I want to give you to sit with after this episode, and I will give them to you in the show notes so you don't have to write them down, just listen to them. The first one is, where am I still apologizing for selling instead of standing in my power? And ladies, this can be anywhere. It doesn't have to just be in sales calls. It can be in your copy that you write, your posts that you write, your sales page copy. It could be in your DMs. Okay, notice the moments where you so often soften your voice. When you discount your price before she even asks. Where you make your invitation sound optional instead of powerful. When you are apologetic instead of unapologetic. Number 2 is, what would shift if I saw sales as a divine invitation rather than a transaction? Feel it in your body. How different would your sales conversations feel if you believe you were offering her a sacred doorway rather than asking for something? How can I embody audacity in my next sales conversation? What does audacity look like for you? Think about that. Write down. What does it look like? Feel it in your body. Maybe it's holding eye contact. Maybe it's pausing instead of filling the silence. Maybe it's saying your price with absolute certainty. Maybe it's believing that I'm making her a sacred invitation to transformation. Let these questions land, journal on them, and notice how your energy shifts and how your bank account starts growing. Sales doesn't have to feel manipulative. It doesn't have to feel scripted. It doesn't have to feel icky ever. It can be sacred. It can be magnetic. It can be divine. It can be the most authentic expression of your leadership. The next time you step into a sales conversation, start a DM conversation, sit down to write copy for your sales page, or create content for social media, I want you to remember you're not just selling a program. You're inviting someone into transformation. You're inviting them into results. You're holding a doorway open for their next level. And that, Queen, is holy work. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with any other woman who needs to know that sales can feel beautiful, aligned, and divine. And if you're ready to step into this way of selling in your own business, I'd love to invite you into one of my programs. You'll find all the links in the show notes. Until next time, stay elevated. Thank you for tuning into Elevated Woman. If today's episode activated something in you, share it, tag me, or come say hi in the DMs. And if you're ready to go deeper, head to myraswankotze.com to grab your free gift or explore the offers aligned with your next level. Until next time, own your power, claim your wealth, and rise as the elevated woman you came here to be.